All right, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Uncalled For. My name is Brady. We're going to go around and introduce ourselves first.
Hey guys, I'm Ben.
What's up, guys? I'm Sean.
What's up, guys? My name is Logan.
All right. So there are more of us. The four of us are the only ones here tonight for our first episode. We're missing Trey, Sean, and John. Excuse
Here. What are
me.
you talking about, buddy?
Sean's here. Missing Mason, Trey, and John. Um, Anyway, just kind of want to introduce the podcast to everybody, to all of our loyal listeners. Um, think of Uncalled For as an organization, an umbrella. And underneath that, we're going to have a bunch of different kinds of content, different episodes that revolve around different things, whether it be football, basketball, fighting, boxing, or UFC. Not really into Bellator, but so we're going to cover a lot of different things. We're also going to do an anime episode for our weebs out there. Sean and Logan are two of those, and so is John. So we'll have that. Basically, this is going to be a channel or a podcast rather that's going to have something for everybody, no matter your interest. So tonight we're going to get into what's been relevant and in the news lately. Um, Nothing political, but the famous fight heard around the world, KSI versus Logan Paul 2. All right, so first off, guys, what did you guys think about it? What was your initial fights? We'll start off first with, before we get into their fight, let's start with the floater fight that they had before. What did you guys think of that?
It's kind of funny. I feel like they put it in front of that fight on purpose, in front of KSI Logan Paul on purpose, because it was so bad.
I mean, they kind of represented KSI and Logan Paul to an extent, kind of lower the anticipation in the fight, like skill level, I guess.
Literally the off-brand KSI and Logan Paul.
Yeah, for sure. The RC Cola Aldi version of Logan Paul and KSI. You had the one with the blonde hair, and I mean, if you look at them, they look like smaller versions of KSI and Logan Paul. But actually, it's funny because the one dude, the white dude, White Chocolate, he is a legitimate prospect. He's I think he's a Golden Gloves champion in New York. So he's a legit prospect. Will have a better career than KSI or Logan Paul boxing wise. Probably will never have the money or fame they do, but you know, hey, if it's about skill and that's what it matters on the night, he's probably better than them. But the fight was awful. I mean, the dude flopping around. I mean, pretending to get hurt. And then,
I
yeah,
mean, the one guy just wanted to come out there and try to knock him out, show his power, and then the guy just falls on the floor, acts like he's hurt, and then tries to hit him after the bell. So
yeah, that just seemed like a whole. That just seemed like a show. You know what I mean? It was. There was only one winner in the fight, and it was just kind of a show that guy put on. You know, that's the biggest. I actually think that on the night that was the biggest boxing event of the year. So as far as the numbers are concerned,
Okay.
which is shocking. I mean, you figure this year we've had Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz. You know, one of the biggest upsets in heavyweight boxing history. You know, we've had
YouTube crowd.
Yeah, I mean, you figure two guys that have 20 million subscribers on YouTube each and millions on other platforms. You know, they're bigger than any boxer.
Yeah, I don't think any of the people that were really there cared about the boxing part. They were just there for KSI Logan Paul.
Yep. So moving on from that fight, I guess we'll start. We'll cover some other things before the aspects of the night before the main event. But making the news were some fights in the crowd. What do you guys make of that? We'll start off with the Vitali and Bradley Martin altercation.
I mean, it was pretty comedy, to be honest. It seemed like Vitaly was taken out a little bit too seriously. I know Bradley Martin suggested that they should fight next, and it seemed like Vitaly got a little caught off guard by that and got a little emotional. And then, of course, he put his fucking hands around Bradley Martin's, or he pushed
He
him.
pushed him, yeah.
Yeah, and then Bradley Martin got pretty pissed off about that. And I know Vitaly said that Bradley Martin apologized to him after and said that he was drunk, which is kind of funny that he's trying to pin all the blame on that altercation on Bradley Martin.
Well, we know Vitaly. If you've been a fan of YouTube for a while, we know that guy will do about anything to stir the pot. I mean,
I think he's had jail time. And
Yep.
We always storms fields during like big sporting events.
Yeah, I'm surprised he was allowed in there. Just knowing
Yeah.
who he is, like I'm shocked they let him in the
I'm pretty
goddamn Staples Center.
I'm pretty sure he got his girlfriend to do one of them.
Yeah, she did.
That's some soccer game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forget who it was though.
Was it the Champions League final?
I think so.
I actually think it was.
Yeah. So she did that. You know, that's why I'm shocked he was even allowed in the Staples Center. I was pretty sure he was probably banned from every fucking arena in the world. But anyway, Bradley, and then that's kind of scary. Imagine being like somebody right next to him. I mean, for you guys who don't know who Bradley Martin is, he's a YouTuber, but he's like was kind of like a bodybuilder type guy. I mean, he's
Don't want to mess with him.
he's probably like 6'4", probably 260, 270, but I mean, he's just huge. He's a giant, and Vitaly's pretty big too now. I mean, since he's been on some cycles for a while. But just imagine being like somebody in the audience right next to him, just two big ass motherfuckers getting pissed off. You're like, oh shit, this is gonna be.
That's where I take my step back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, cause you guys for the listeners, if you go look that up on YouTube, you'll see Bradley Martin. You'll see his face. I mean, this is just pure rage. Looks like he was about to fucking rip him apart. So it was interesting, and to say the least. Wasn't there another incident too that happened in the crowd?
Yeah, I believe I want to say that it was part of Logan Paul's team, his training team. Some guy was antagonizing him in the crowd, and he said that he wanted him to punch him, and the guy comes after him. I think he's the one that was like antagonizing him was a YouTuber. I don't remember what his name is. I saw it on Twitter, but part of Logan Paul's team, the dude literally went to go punch him and completely missed, and the YouTuber dodged out of the way, which was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, with what went on with that. I mean, it was kind of a big show, and we shouldn't be surprised. I mean, shit. It's a big, it's not a YouTube event, but it is a YouTube event. You know what I mean? I think every big name YouTuber around probably was at the fight, because I mean, they're all gonna vlog it and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And they want the clickbait. I mean, they want it. I mean, everybody's gonna have Logan and Paul and KSI in their title. I mean, us included, and more some nobodies. But I mean, like, think about it. If they can have Logan Paul KSI fight gone wrong, type shit, they're gonna do it. They're gonna have all that kind of shit. And I we get it. You gotta get the views, you gotta get everything.
Gotta get on that hype when it's big.
Well, here we are. So that's just kind of how it is. Anyway, I saw a video today. There was a guy who did an interview with Shannon Briggs. Okay, Shannon Briggs was Logan Paul's trainer for this fight, and for maybe people who don't know, Shannon Briggs was a two-time heavyweight champion of the world. I don't remember which governing bodies he was champion of at the time, but he was a two-time world heavyweight champion. I think he had 37 first-round knockouts, which is a record. He was a beast of a fighter. So it kind of is sad to see that people just know him as Logan Paul's trainer. But anyway, he he did an interview with somebody who I think knows KSI, and they were saying that he was like Welsh, and he was like, uh, shit, how the fuck did it go?
Oh, I know what you're talking about
He
because he
was
got
like saying,
fucking Jake Paul to do it too.
he was like
He's
saying like, how do you say this in Welsh? And it was like something like I'm a cunt, or he's like saying
no,
it weird.
I'm a nonce
Yeah, he's a I'm a Nazi, and or
or
nonce.
nonce,
Yeah,
but it's nonce, which
and
means he's a pedophile.
he kept telling Shannon Briggs to say that, and Shannon Briggs had no idea. So he's like, "How you say this in Welsh?" He's like, "I'm a nonce," and he's like, Shannon Briggs is like, "Let's go, champ, I'm a nonce." And he just kept saying it, and it was funny. I mean, watching it back, they're just fucking with him, and it's hilarious. But I'm sure when he finally figures it out, he's probably gonna fucking go hunt that dude down, trying to fuck him up. I mean, as you can see, a couple days before the fight, Shannon Briggs was trying to fucking fight anybody outside at the weigh-ins.
I mean, that's a
Not sure if
scary
you
looking
guys.
dude still.
Well, I mean, he's an old dude, but he'll fuck. I mean, that's
I'm not missing.
nobody you really want to get involved with as far as trying to get in a street fight with. I mean, that dude will shatter your face with one punch. Um, but yeah, anything else you guys want to talk about with it before we get into the actual main event?
I think that wraps up pretty much everything that was surrounding the fight before it happened.
Okay. All
Around
right. So here's that's kind of so going up to the build up of the main event. So I'm gonna say my kind of uh, my thoughts heading into it. Um, for all my friends and everybody that watched the fight, when we were talking about it beforehand, I thought Logan Paul was gonna win this fight. Bigger, stronger, faster, more athletic. Um, and the first fight showed that Logan Paul was, I thought, so dominant in the first few rounds that where you could just see where his skill seemed better and athleticism was a night and day difference between him and KSI. So I thought, okay, well, no head guards. The first fight, if there's no head guards and there was 10-ounce gloves in the first fight, that fight would have been over in 2 rounds. Um, but something interesting happened the week before the fight. Logan Paul put out a video about a documentary. Put out a documentary about the first fight, just detailing everything to the lead up and kind of the aftermath of it. Now, in the lead up, he's training hard. He's obviously been a guy that's been in great shape, but trying to learn how to box in such a short amount of time is kind of difficult. He was getting his ass handed to him in one of his sparring sessions right before, I think, a week before the fight. And he has this bravado and this character where he's so arrogant, and he's cocky and all this. But in that documentary, he showed something to me that changed my mind. And that was the self-doubt he had in himself. He really seemed like he was doubting his ability and if he could do it. And to me, I was like, man, didn't seem like him. And that's everything. The confidence of getting in there in front of all those people. I think it was 20,000 in Manchester when they fought. I mean, that's hard, especially when you doubt in yourself and you have all those people you don't want to, with the stakes of losing and you're gonna be a meme. I thought that was kind of crazy. That was a big, a big thing for me when it kind of swung the pendulum in the other direction for me. So then I was like, okay, well, I think KSI is gonna win. And I thought a big thing for KSI is I know he's always confident in himself, and he always shows that. And he seemed like he wasn't going to crack under the pressure, and he didn't the time before that. He's had a bunch of events in front of a lot of people. Anyway, I mean, that was kind of what were you guys' thoughts going into the fight before it happened? Who did you guys think was going to win? I know I just had a long monologue about what I thought, but what do you guys think?
Obviously Logan Paul. He's just bigger.
Mm.
Yeah, that was my thought process on the whole thing. Was he has that? I mean, he hasn't boxed before, but he's had that wrestling, so he's used to that, I guess, that physical aspect of it. And I mean, he was chiseled up, so I had my money on him.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought it was. I was still rooting for KSI, no matter how good Logan Paul looked. And to give KSI credit, he also looked pretty pretty decent, pretty fit for the fight. I mean, just seeing the transformation from last fight. I mean, you're talking about obviously the first fight. Logan Paul was taunting him, sticking his
Yep.
tongue out, looked really cocky and really confident, and then you see this man walk out to the fucking ring, and he's just scared as shit.
Yep.
He
I thought
looks,
that too.
his face was sunken in. He looked like he didn't want to be there. He looked really fucking intimidated, especially in front of his own hometown or
Mhm.
his home crowd, the U.S. And like just the whole fight, he just looked scared. He looked like
Yep.
he really didn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, and see, that was the thing I thought. I don't think it was that I don't think he's scared of KSI. I don't think that was the case at all. I think he was scared to lose and scared to just embarrass himself. And I don't think it had anything to do with his opponent. I think it was doubting himself. And I think that is a big difference. Uh, but yeah, that's a good point. And um, I know, like when Logan and I were talking about it before, with KSI, the Sidemen, they do a lot of things as far as community, or what do you call it?
Community events or
Yeah,
charity.
community events, charity events. There
events.
you go. That's what I'm looking for. Like their Sidemen charity match that they've had.
They've done
I
4
think
of them.
yeah,
So
them four of them. One at Southampton Stadium, been sold out. Um, they've participated in the Wembley Cup that Spencer FC does. Um, so they're used to it. They're used to having tens of thousands of people watching and millions around the world on a live event. I know it's different when you're fighting and all that, but and plus too, I get this, I get it with being scared of losing, especially in a fight, because I mean, a boxing match that's live, if you get your ass handed to you, I
Sure.
mean, I just feel like less of a man. I feel like I couldn't show my fucking face anywhere.
Especially for those two, because I mean they have so much riding on that, so many followers, and I mean
Even more for
you could
Logan
almost
Paul,
ruin your career.
fighting in front of his hometown, friends, family.
Yeah,
well,
that's
especially
what.
all the fucking shit talking that they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
I'm a boxer. You're not a boxer. You don't know boxing.
Yes, I do.
They
Yeah,
all
He knew
talked
how to
about
box and
how
everything,
much
man.
they all
neither
talked
of
about how
them
much
do
they did
boxing.
training and how much everybody knew about fighting and how much they had learned from the last fight just to go out there and just fuck everything up and look even worse than they did in the first fight, to be honest.
He says
Yeah,
KSI's
yeah,
part because he was talking about like he knows how to box technically now, but then he just comes out just swinging. Defense wasn't
yeah,
even that good.
yeah.
There's no technique in any of that.
Especially what KSI did. All right, so getting first off, now we'll get into the fight. What did you guys actually think of the action? First bell rings, KSI charges out, trying to fucking hit anything he can. I mean,
This
shit,
is
he was swinging. I've never seen a fighter get into a ring and swing like I've never seen anything like it. What were your guys' thoughts?
I thought it was entertaining, but if I'm there for boxing, like just straight shit. Just looked
Yeah,
like shit. Looked like a high school fight.
pretty much.
Yeah, it's two guys that don't look like they know what they're doing.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they're just look. KSI the whole time was trying to chase. Logan Paul was just kept receding back into any fucking space that he could find. KSI swinging wildly, just hoping that anything can connect since they don't have headgear anymore. Logan Paul looks like he doesn't want to get caught on the chin because he's scared of getting knocked out. It was just a whole just game of cat and mouse the whole time,
Yeah,
and eventually just got boring.
well, I'll tell you this. One thing I kind of noticed, this is kind of interesting. I think Logan Paul almost trained to fight like that because I noticed when he did his first open media workout, he was he was kind of shuffling around in a big circle the whole time. Uh, and I didn't really think that much of it before, but kind of what I saw in that is exactly how he fought. Granted, it seemed like he didn't do anything the whole fight, but he landed more punches. Um, but you know, my kind of takeaway from it was, if you were to ask me, okay, first off, too, let's say, who do you got? Do you guys agree with the decision of the fight of KSI getting the win?
I wouldn't have even cared whoever won.
Yeah, I'm not upset with the outcome of that fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically KSI showed more presence, showed the will that he wanted to win, no matter how bad his technique was, and actually gave a fucking effort.
Yeah, that was kind of
There.
my thing. Is KSI's heart won the fight, and if you were to ask me who I thought looked like a better boxer,
Well,
Logan Paul. But when he just didn't do. I felt like nobody did enough really to win the fight. I don't feel like anybody really beat each other. If there was only one point in the fight where somebody got hurt. I know KSI said he thought he had a knockdown, and I don't remember what round was it. Round two?
I
Yeah, round
think
two,
so.
where he hit him like
Another.
behind the ear, kind of back of the
yeah.
head, and I don't really think it was. I think it was kind of a flash knockdown. I don't really think there was much in it. It wasn't hurt. Logan Paul wasn't hurt, but the fourth round, that uppercuts landed by Logan Paul, that fucked KSI up.
I just couldn't believe that he actually had a good punch in there and then ruined it by punching him in the back of the head.
Yep. Yeah, and the 2 points deducted ended up being the difference in the fight. If he didn't do that, then he would have won, but he would have won on the scorecards. So give him the 2 points back. He wins the scorecards.
What if they had that knockdown? KSI, because they
Well,
didn't
then it
count
would. Yeah,
that.
exactly. Then it wouldn't matter. It'd be the same. Um, Probably would have been the same.
Or a
But
draw.
but here's the difference. Yeah, exactly. Maybe a draw, but well, you add 2 points, take away 2 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have been a draw, or the same result rather. But you know, I think if it if it would have been a warning, KSI still would have got time to recover. Well, but if they wouldn't have hit him in the back of the head, and it would have been a
Who
knockdown,
knows?
and they would have started the count, and he would have had to beat a 10 count, he might have beat the 10 count, KSI, but he was hurt bad. I think Logan Paul would have probably finished him after that, you know, and because KSI had a few minutes to recover because of the legal blow, so he was able to fully recover, and get his feet under him.
I just think taking 2 points away for someone that's been there for their first time, and
With no
Not a
warning.
I mean,
warning.
the emotions are high. You know that they're shit talking the whole time. I just think that's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, and I thought that too, but today, actually, it was announced. Logan Paul put out a video about it. I like his approach for the loss. He had his friends make fun of him um, for the loss, so it kind of showed a human side, at least a humor to it, especially talking all that shit and everything. And one of the things in that at the end, originally he said he was gonna, like in the ring, oh, I'm gonna challenge him to file an appeal and all that, and then he changed his mind and said he isn't. Well, today he was just gonna let KSI have the win. That he wasn't gonna pursue it. It's what's done is done. Now he changed his tune again. He is going to officially appeal it with the Athletic Commission in California. So, because of the 2 point deduction, which if he wins and he gets the 2 points back, um, I think they might. I don't know if it'll be a win. I don't know if they reverse it to a win, but I think they might make it a no contest.
I think you just
So,
gotta make it a no contest.
I'll be honest with you, man. I was kind of disappointed when I saw that. I was just kind of hoping he'd let it go because it's not. He's not a fucking. They're not. They're never going to be world champions. This is a one-off thing, and it's not a big
It
deal. I
seemed
mean, at
like
least
KSI wanted it to be over, and he's like, "It's done now. Let's just move on." And
Yeah, and I don't KSI. KSI is not under any. He's not delusional. He doesn't think he dominated Logan Paul. He understands it was close, and you know they had their moment in the ring where they kind of squashed it. So let it be done. But Logan Paul said, I don't think it was right, and I want to stand up for what I think is right, and I feel like I got cheated. So, I guess we'll have to see what happens. It might change, it might not. They might deny it. You never know. But time will tell. But I guess we'll move into the next part about this. Do you guys think? What are your opinions on what you thought? Do you think this is good for boxing? You think it's bad? You think? What do you think?
I don't think it does anything bad to boxing. And I feel like it helps some of the fighters that were actually fighting in the card, like Devin
Hmm.
Haney. Like I didn't know who he was before these fights,
Yeah.
and I saw him. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna start following this dude.
Yeah.
I think it brings some good things, like Sean said. For the people that don't know a lot about boxing, it brought them in to learn about new fighters and see how exciting that part is. The people that like actually know what they're doing, and yeah, it didn't really do anything bad. I mean, it brought in money, it brought in recognition for the sport. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say something very similar. I mean, there in no way did it hurt boxing at all. Maybe it shed some light on, or for newer fans to recognize some fighters and recognize the sport as a whole. So, I mean, it's only positive from there, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't think it hurt anything because the only people that were complaining were the diehard boxing fans.
Yeah,
With the diehard boxing fans, are they gonna just fucking quit watching boxing?
no,
No. What the fuck else are they gonna do? Because from what I understand, die hard, the true purist boxing fans, they don't fuck with MMA. You know what I mean? So what if they're not gonna go anywhere.
I mean, boxing
So
is kind of like that traditional.
oh yeah,
So
exactly. They like to be, they threw a fucking fit when Floyd Mayweather fought Conor McGregor. So they're never fucking happy. Um but they're not gonna quit watching boxing. They'll get over it. They'll get over it. So, you know, anyway, they can go and watch. They want to complain all this shit. They'll go watch fucking a juiced up Canelo fucking fight all these fucking old champions and take their belts. So, you know, whatever. So it doesn't really hurt. But I do think it definitely brought in a lot of new eyes. Maybe some of these fans, Billy Joe Saunders, for example, this was his American debut. He never fought in America before. So, it's a good for him. He got a knockout win. So, which is exciting and good to see. So maybe he will get some fans, and maybe Devin Haney will get some deserved fans. Um, I know Logan Ben and I had an opportunity
mhm.
months and months ago to see Devin Haney fight in our hometown. He was replacing Alexander Usyk when he got hurt, and we decided not to go,
I regret that
which
decision.
which now we regret, because we've known who I knew he was a top prospect, and shit, in a year now he's the WBC lightweight champion. So yes, I'm happy maybe they got some new fans, but I personally think it doesn't do much for boxing because I think Logan Paul and KSI fans were there for Logan Paul and KSI. And I think they don't really give a shit about the other things. I forget whose podcast it was, but they said that the same amount of people would have fucking watched a live stream of Logan Paul and KSI play fucking checkers. I mean, it didn't matter what the fuck they're doing. Who can tie their shoes faster, whatever it is. They would have fucking watched it. With the DAZN memberships, you know, I think every single person that fucking signed up for DAZN just for that fight canceled their subscription right after the fight. Pretty much
Yeah,
can guarantee it. And I did as well. But it wasn't because of the fight. It was because I don't. for the time and months that they have off before the next big fights. I know Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz fight next month, but I'll go out and watch that. I won't watch it at home. But so I don't have any need. Then the rest of the fighters, Triple G just fought, Canelo just fought. All these guys are gonna be fighting fucking 6-7 months away from now. I'm not paying $20 a month to watch fucking nothing. Don't care. So the fans will just follow. So I don't really think it does much. You know. So that was kind of my thoughts on the fight. I thought Logan Paul would win. He lost it for himself. He can only blame himself. But props to KSI for the heart. Props to him. Been a big fan of him forever. So, you know, what do you guys have any other thoughts on it before we close up that topic?
I mean, I have to give credit to both of them for having courage enough to show out in front of all those fans and try their hardest to fight each other. But, what's done is done now.
I think if it were me, I would have a huge adrenaline dump and just look terrible out there. So, yeah, give them all the credit.
By you, Shauner?
Give credit to actually Vidal Riley. Surprised he actually made KSI into what he is now.
Yeah,
what he was before.
Very true. Very true. Now, actually, I'd like to see him. Actually, a point I want to make on him. Very talented prospect. Well, he's a professional boxer. He's not a prospect anymore. He might very well be the cruiserweight champion of the world one day. He's very, very, very good. And I know it's funny because he was talking about Shannon Briggs not being relevant. Nobody knows who he is and all that shit anymore. Now there's a line. Now Vidal Riley's now put a big target on his back. And then not only that, I don't want to see him just get remembered as KSI's trainer. I think that'd be a fucking shame. But I guess you got to get famous somehow. So
he's fighting on the Gervonta Davis undercard.
Yeah, I saw that. And you know what's funny? He's probably more famous than Tank Davis is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of crazy to think about. So, anyway, now that was a regular opinion. Now I'm going to give my uncalled for opinion. KSI and Logan Paul, quit fucking boxing before you get hurt. Just don't challenge any pro boxers. Be smart. Be rich. Don't die like other people do. You're not good enough to be in the game as a pro. And that's my uncalled for opinion. So, and I think everybody probably would agree with that here.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So that wraps up that. We're done. That's in the past. We'll move on. I'm sure they'll probably talk shit again on YouTube, and we might have a third fight, no matter what they say it's done or not. Anyway, let's get into another topic that has been taking social media by storm since August in its release. The Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now there's the battle of is it better than Chick-fil-A? Is it better than KFC? I guess I've never seen anybody say that, but that's only the chicken place I can think of off the top of my head. But what do you guys think?
10 times better than KFC.
Okay.
What about compared to Chick-fil-A though?
Yeah, what about Chick-fil-A?
It's tough. I'm a big Chick-fil-A guy. I would probably lean towards Popeyes, to be honest. When you get that chicken sandwich and get the Popeyes fries, just that combo is unbeatable.
I don't think anyone's better. I just think it's which one you prefer. They're both good. Just the Popeyes one is bigger. I prefer Chick-fil-A, but I still like the Popeyes one.
Let's see. I'm very torn between these two. I like the spicy Chick-fil-A sandwich, and I love Chick-fil-A sauce, but I think the sandwich as a whole, Popeyes is just a lot better to me. I mean, you got that nice piece of meat. You
Thick.
got it. It's nice and thick.
That
You
thick
know it.
piece of meat.
It's got the thickness going on. You got all that spicy mayo drizzled on that shit. You
Mhm.
got that fucking brioche bun,
That's
and
fancy.
it is just amazing when you take a bite into that shit. It is clutch in your time of need.
Yes. So when it came out in August, I was not lucky enough to ever get the opportunity to get one.
Neither was
It
I.
fucking
Yeah,
sold
Paul
out
just
immediately,
camp in the
and I couldn't
drive-thru.
get it.
I sat my ass 45 minutes in a drive-through to get two of them bitches, and it was well worth it.
I've never seen a chicken sandwich just pull a crowd like it did. Like
I've never
40
seen
cars in a
anything.
drive. Like
I've never seen any kind of fast food have that kind of shit. I mean, Jesus
Well,
Christ, it
McDonald's
was
Szechuan sauce. Don't get me started on that.
Oh, that's
well,
true.
yeah, well, but so I never got it, and I missed out. And I before they announced how long it would be before it came back, I used to go when I was at work. My lunch break, I'd stop by Popeyes, and they had a fucking sign on the goddamn drive-through menu. It said, "We're sold out of the chicken sandwich," and I wanted to just bang my fucking head on the steering wheel every time I saw that and cry. But I thought, well, maybe I'll try tomorrow. Then I saw that it would come out in November. Um, Still, when it first came out, drew a big crowd, and I wasn't going to sit in line for 40 minutes to get it until yesterday. Popeyes, for those of you that don't know, at least around here, opens at 10. So if you want to get one, not have a wait in line, get there early. I got there about 10:45. Nobody's in line. Pull up to that window and I get a spicy chicken sandwich. That shit was fresh, and I'm not sitting on the fence on this topic. It is flat out the undisputed best chicken sandwich in the fucking world, and you cannot change my mind. I have when I got back to the office and I sat down in my chair and I took it out of that bag and I took those fucking nasty ass pickles off because I don't do that.
Yeah, fuck pickles. No
But
pickles.
when I took a bite out of it, I couldn't believe how good it was. I was in fat boy heaven, and it just was so good. It is not the best. It's not just the best chicken sandwich I've had from a fast food place. It's the best chicken sandwich I fucking have ever had in my life, and I could eat it every
Yeah.
day.
do
And
you regret only getting one?
well, I got two,
Got to.
but
Ugh.
anyway,
Yeah, the only
got
way
two.
to do it.
it's the only way to do it. You gotta listen. You gotta have one. You know, it's like it's a science experiment. You can't just do one run. I had two trials, so I had to figure out if it was consistent, and it was. The second one was just as good as the first one. So
But you got there early. You got them fresh too.
that's what.
Mine
Well,
was at the end of the day, like 7 o'clock, just making a bunch. I think in a row, just boom, boom, boom. So I don't know how fresh mine was. I want to go back, like Brady said, early in the morning, get that fresh one.
yes, that's my advice to anybody that has had one and has been on the fence. Go there early and get the fresh one because it's life changing. You know, it was it opened my mind, and I am forever grateful for that moment that I had. Um, Now, Trey, who's a member of Uncalled for, who's not with us here tonight, is going to listen to this and is probably going to be screaming at his laptop about this because he is on the Chick-fil-A fucking bandwagon. Now I can say this because he's not here. um, the first time he had it, he said, "Undisputed champ, Popeyes." Next time, changed his tune. And I thought, well, why? I thought, well, maybe he just wants to be different. Maybe he doesn't want to say Popeyes is. But I thought about it again, like kind of what Ben said. I think he got it at the wrong time. I think Popeyes, they just make them all in the morning, and then, you know, have them kind of just keep them warm throughout the day, and then they get a little harder and all that kind of shit. I'm telling you, you want an eye-opening experience. This is probably the equivalent of what Joe Rogan explains of having a DMT trip, where it opens your mind to a different universe. That's what I thought. And so yeah, my uncalled for opinion is Chick-fil-A can fuck off and stay closed on Sundays because Popeyes is open 7 days a week, and that's all I need. So that's my stance. And anybody else?
I'm gonna be having fun eating my fucking Popeyes on Sunday.
That's true
And
too.
shout out to all the true fans of the Popeyes chicken sandwich who got it the first time around, because that shit fucking hit different.
Yep, and those motherfuckers probably went through some withdrawals. They probably
You best
found
believe
their
I
they
did.
found their way into some AA meetings, looking for a way to they had to find they got in an AA meeting because they're having withdrawals, they're lost. Fuck, I don't know. I just instead of somebody had to tell them to leave because it's not for fucking chicken withdrawals. It's for fucking Alcoholics Anonymous. So
Yeah, I had to drink a little bit more to get over my obsession with the Popeyes chicken sandwich, but now I'm glad it's back.
and I
It's-
will say this as a follow up. You need to be somewhere near a bathroom because when it hits
Yeah.
your intestine, it's gonna hit different in the toilet. Because I was struggling at work, and it's a good thing I keep a packet of wet wipes in my backpack. So,
Got the wet wipes on deck.
on deck. I mean, it's good thing I was the only one in there in the office. They don't hear me fucking grunting on the toilet because that'd have been embarrassing. But
When it hits,
but
it
yeah.
hits.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it.
What you gotta pay for the chicken?
But it's well worth it. It'll clear you out.
Yep, that's for sure. So any other topics you guys want to cover today? I know for everybody listening, we just kind of wanted to give just an overview. We'll get into a little bit more again, kind of round up everything, and then kind of close out. But was there any other topics you guys wanted to hit on real quick before we call it for our first episode?
No, I think that's good for me.
Yeah, that's all I worried about this
Yeah,
whole week.
that's priorities right there.
All right. Well, anyway, everybody, thank you again for listening. If you enjoyed, share it to all your friends. Put it everywhere. Get on the ground floor right now while you can, so you can proudly say in a few months you were one of our first listeners. But hopefully we hope to get some pretty good guests on the show. I know we don't have the big name of every other fucking celebrity that starts a podcast anymore, but just bear with us and we'll get there and get there together. So just want to thank you all again for tuning in. Like I said, we're gonna do some other podcasts. Try to keep everything themed. We're gonna do like a football podcast, maybe cover college football and the NFL. The same with basketball, college, and NBA.
Premier League.
Yes, soccer. Kind of get into the major teams, Premier League, some other top 5 leagues, Champions League, stuff like that. Like I said, the Weeaboo Galore anime podcast.
Logan's anime night.
Yeah, weeb up.
Yep. So weeb up, get your Naruto headbands ready for that one. And I mean, like I said, we're gonna have content for everybody. I know Sean's gonna be doing some ASMR for makeup tutorials, however that works on here too.
Got you, bitch.
I heard that gets views. So,
Does.
anyway, yeah, I think that just about covers it, everybody. I mean, throughout the series, well, shouldn't say series, but throughout the podcast, buyer beware. We're gonna make some comments that are uncalled for, and I have been Brady.
I've been Ben.
I've been Sean.
And peace out. I'm Logan.
This has been uncalled for. See you in the next episode, motherfuckers.
Yes, sir.